That means I am also taking MTN 3013 course, and I am so pleased and glad by helping Mr. Ideal with hardware installation and Windows 10 installation. And please enjoy the video. If you want to have your own hardware, you can try brand Intel. You can find it in Shopee in around 3,500. But if you want the best, no matter the price, Intel is the place to look for. And you can try Asus, because Asus is well known for producing high-end gaming laptops, motherboards, and monitor. And you can find it in Shopee or Amazon with price around 1,500 until 2,000. Caution: never check the manufacturer's specifications on all items before you purchase them. Kits are supposed to contain compatible parts, but mistakes can happen. Warning: using incorrect tools for a task such as turning a screw with a knife blade can cause equipment damage. Caution: cans may have sharp edges. Handle with care to avoid injury. Caution: static electricity can ruin computer component. Always wear a grounding strap when handling any internal component. To install motherboard, we need parts that should have been included with your purchased components. Input and output bezel is a trim panel installed in the back of the case that surrounds with the interface parts on the motherboard. It should be included with the motherboard. 2. Stand-off are installed in the case screw holes to create a riser that separates the case and motherboard. Screws and stand-off should be included with the case, but it is good idea to order the items just in case they are not included. And caution: to prevent damage to the motherboard, it must only contact the standoff and screws. All of the standoff and screws must be installed. If that is not possible, you may need to connect cables before you install the drive. To mount the drive, find a 3.5 drive bay to install the drive in. If you have trouble finding a place to mount the drive, consult your care documentation for suggestion. Slide the drive into the place until the screw holes on the sides are lined up with the holes in the case. Install the screw. To install the CPU, find the corner marking that designates pin 1 of the CPU. On this AMD brand processor, the corner is marked with an arrow. Consult the manufacturer's documentation for specific information about your processor. Step 2. Leave the small metal rod next to the socket. Step 3. Find the corresponding marking on the CPU socket and insert the CPU so that the markings are lined up. And the last step is push the rod down to lock the processor in place. To install the RAM, the step 1 is you have to set the RAM board in the socket. Check to see that the notch in the board is in the correct location. If it is not, turn it around 180 degrees. And step 2, press firmly on both ends of the board to set it up into the socket. And the last step is make sure the tabs lock into place. Caution: pressing the boards in when the tab is hot, a line could cause damage to the RAM board as well as the motherboard. To install the fan, you have to place thermal compound to the CPU following the instructions provided with the compound. Step 2. Set the fan assembly on the CPU with mounting tabs aligned. Step 3. Pull the locking rod down on the fan assembly to lock into place. And the last step is you have to connect the fan assembly's power connector to the motherboard. Consult the manual to determine proper placement. And warning: failure to apply thermal compound will result in insufficient cool energy and will cause damage to the CPU for the motherboard. To mount the fan, we have to align the mounting holes by holding the fan to the mounting pad on the inside of the case. And the step 2 is the fan needs to be mounted so that it blows air out of the case. And the last step is insert the screws from the outside of the case and tighten. To install the power supply, align the mounting holes in the case and power supply, and insert screws and tighten. With all the components installed in the case, the jungle of wires can be daunting. It is important to consult the motherboard manual in order to make sure proper connections are made. There are two kinds of connections, which is the power and data. Every device that has been installed needs power. The motherboard has two power connections and there are two connectors specifically for SATA devices, and the other connector will run fans and other non-SATA devices. Data cables connect drivers and front panel devices to the motherboard. And please consult the motherboard documentation for the exact placement of connectors. Windows 10 already includes almost everything the average PC user needs, with 3 different types of software. Windows 10 includes online version of OneNote, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint from Microsoft Office.